this year, what do you consider the biggest challenge of the season so far?
Well, there are so many different things every single weekend to get right with the car, myself, to get on top of some qualifying laps, and it's hard to always pick one particular thing. Yeah, I think the biggest challenge in general is like even when you know that you have a great car to try and get the best out of it. That's always a hard challenge every single weekend.
How do you manage wanting something, asking somebody for it, and the balance of personalities?
I think just growing in the relationship, within the team with the people. I think everyone is working in the same direction. We know what we want from each other as well, and then I have to also trust the people that they will always supply me with, the best they can develop, design, these kind of things.
The role of being a leader, is that something that you think comes naturally for you, or is that something that with time and age and experience that you've felt a little more comfortable with?
I never really thought about that, too much. I just came into the team and I will say what I think of the situation, like I'm not holding back, and that's also not something that I want from them. Like, when it's good, when it's bad, and I want that to be said. And, people make mistakes, I make mistakes, we are in it together. And that's how we have been working since I started with the team. And then, of course, I think as a team we became stronger, we became better. And like I said before, we really know what we want to work on and how we work together. And I think these kind of things are very important.
How do you possibly sum up Adrian Newey's impact on the team the last almost 20 years?
Yeah, I think before Adrian even got to the team, he was already a legend. So, also for him to start that new challenge with Red Bull, and basically what they have achieved already from the start was truly incredible. And then, of course, roles evolve, I think, within a team as well, for him also. But yeah, he's always been, a very strong part of the team. But at the same time, I think from his side as well, like, he became a bit more of like a mentor, and there were so many great people coming up, through the ranks as well. And we really built a strong core team, so it was not like a one-man team, if you know what I mean.
Sometimes when people leave or move on, you find that they're not only are they irreplaceable, but they can't be replaced by just one person. So how do you go about replacing somebody like that?
You will never be able to replace Adrian. Adrian is Adrian, and then you might find someone new who is in his own role. I never like people trying to be like someone else anyway. Everyone has to work from their own strength, and Adrian has his own strengths, but at the end of the day, that role will always be just an Adrian role. So now it's up to the other people within the technical team to just continue what they have been doing, which they have been doing fantastically.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the online racing, because a lot of times people do that because they can't do this. They don't have access to the real thing. Obviously you do. So what is it for you that draws you to it? Why are you so passionate about it?
Yeah, it's my hobby. I love racing in general. I like the sim racing aspect because I just keep doing what I'm doing in real life, but I can just do it a bit easier, just at home on my simulator. Plus, I have my own team in it as well, my own sim racing team in Team Redline, and I try to help young drivers who, they don't have that opportunity to drive real cars, to try and be a better driver, with hopefully the aim of trying to bring them to the real world as well.
What is the biggest gap that needs to be closed to actually make that a successful reality?
Honestly, I think it's just feeling comfortable with the speed in real life, the G-forces, and being physically fit. As a sim driver, you don't necessarily need to be physically the fittest. But at the end of the day, a lot of the things that you do on there are very similar to real life. But then once you sit in a real car, it's just getting used to, that speed sensation, which on the simulator you don't get as well. But the technical things, like, how you brake, how you drive, how you steer, these kind of things are exactly the same.
How does it actually translate for you, or does it not at all?
Yeah, for me, it's just keeping myself busy with also different kind of cars. Like when I'm at home, I barely drive a Formula One car. It's always like different GT cars or whatever Formula cars. And yeah, just at the end of the day, you do the same thing. You look at the best setups, strategies. You're racing, overtaking, defending, pit stops. There are a lot of things that come into play, and it just keeps me sharp in a way. I mean, does it help me on track here? I'm not sure, but I like it.
Okay. There was somebody recently who talked about sort of his mental health condition, and he reached out to you. He was racing online, and you spoke to him. And he talked about how you impacted him and maybe some of the decisions that he was making in that moment. Do you realize how much impact you can have on people, not just here, but away from the track as well?
I mean, I guess it comes with the sport as well. That some people might look up to you a bit more being a driver, but I always feel like just do what you think is best for yourself. When I grew up, I would never look at someone who was very successful like I want to be like him or her. It doesn't matter. I was like, okay, that's great. I will take it into consideration, but I'll do it my way. That's how I look at it.